the attack on trade and the free market is super fucking racist. And yeah, now it's time to attack liberal logic, or, well, left wing logic, with, guess what? Left wing logic, or absence thereof, as we often call. So, at any rate, I saw another one of these little things where some little kids had their lemonade stand, and they're learning the importance of work, they're learning the importance and tools of trade, and it's kind of like a little bit of a school for young and emerging and aspiring entrepreneurs. And this is a beautiful thing. Just like going door to door with those Girl Scout cookies, all these things, they're beautiful. It's, in my sense, a lot better in many ways and a lot more constructive than a lot that kids do at school in terms of just conditioning them for life, teaching them valuable skills and how to interact with the world in a way that will actually be productive for them and benefit them in the long run. Now, of course, as has become tradition, this lemonade stand again closed down. Why? Because they don't have a license to sell lemonade that mom made and probably and gave to her kids, and they're still fine. But selling that to someone else, oh, no, 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 no. You need a license, and you got to pay your taxes, and you got to get the health inspector and everything. It's just like, oh, okay. So why is this racist? Well, you see, here's the thing, and this is not just really just a white thing, but it's very much a tradition for Europeans. Free trade, individuality, autonomy. Yes, a lot of countries have culturally appropriated that, and they've benefited from culturally appropriating that, and we are proud to have, you know, allowed them to do so. And and I would actually hope that more people around the world, if they see the benefit, pick up the franchise and make it their own. It's beautiful. We make the world a better place like that. But you see, at least in the United States, the bastion of the free market, well, as per its founding, if you look at the Constitution, this is a cultural thing to Americans. And to a large degree, also to a lot of other Westerners. Trade is essential to Icelandic culture. I'll tell you that right away. From the very foundation of it, as through the Commonwealth era, a anarcho democracy, if you will, a country with no king, no actual ruler, just an assembly of chieftains that came together and voted on certain issues. If there were feuds or conflicts, they could settle it there, or row into a tiny little island in the middle of a very, very cold lake and fight each other to the death. And whoever survived, well, wounded as he was, would have to just paddle the freaking boat back to shore, which could render him dead on the boat instead. But yeah, it's like if you want to take that route, you do it. So yeah, at any rate, trade has been a very strong cultural foundation for Westerners, and and often at times, if Westerners have been stripped of the ability to use that cultural element, it has resulted in war. War is very often for Europeans or Westerners in general, very often the result of trade not being allowed to happen. Now, for some countries, at least if you take the leftist definition of every other culture that isn't Western, well, they were all just like collectivists and they just share things and stuff. Well, if you're gonna maintain that, then surely tit for tat type of trade, benefit for benefit, is definitely a Western thing, and why are we not allowed to have our culture? Then of course they can go, well, because you're a majority, and well, still on a global scale, we're still a minority, so we should surely be allowed to practice that cultural aspect somewhere now, shouldn't we? At least to some degree. So we, I think, we should definitely recognize free, uninhibited trade as a pillar of Western culture and heritage and civilization. And we should definitely have the right to practice that somewhere in some way, shape, or form, or have some tiny bit of bastion of integrity around the practice. Maybe only on our little July 4th celebrations or whatever other national holidays, which y'all deem to be evil. Maybe solely on those within like restricted controlled areas. Maybe we should have tiny little free states of free trade where we can come together and do swap meets or whatever in a free trade little setting, and when we leave not be charged customs fees or taxes or tariffs. Maybe that, but at any rate, this is if you're gonna allow some people from some culture to come together somewhere and do their dances, then surely you should allow American families for their kids to have their little lemonade stand somewhere. Cause where's your heart? And another thing, we have all these people running around the world in fancy Armani suits. Where's the compassion and empathy for Italians? Middle class households, sovereignty of the individual as a player in a society, Western values, Western inventions, Western culture. And yeah, we have the whole world has appropriated that. And as far as I'm concerned, more power to them. Absolutely. I want the whole world to have a whole bunch of economically self sufficient middle class people just running out and trading with each other and everything like that. You know what? Because why I want that? Because it makes it a lot harder for people who want to manipulate power over others to get their way and do harm in this world. And I think that's what it comes down to, quite frankly. The people who want to access and assume and exert their power over others. I think they're the ones who fight against these things the most. So, hashtag justice for lemonade stands. Viking out.